Wow. Like what do I even have to say, you guys? Before we get started, I'm going to let a couple minutes roll by. So if you're watching this afterwards, feel free to like fast forward. If you hit the arrow key on YouTube, it fast forwards at like 30 seconds. Um I might have a couple moderators for today's chat because of something that happened last time. I'm going to try to figure out how to do that on the fly. What a victory, you guys. Again, like what do I even have to say? Like this is probably gonna be a really short live stream. Um Maybe we'll quote preview it, preview game three. Because there's really not much to talk about. So I'm gonna let a minute or two go by. By the way, if you guys missed the quote new intro, I kind of added a couple things. I'll replay it for you. So enjoy. Hey there, guys. My name is Brandon, aka Suns Geek, and if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. That is right, you guys. The Phoenix Suns absolutely dominate the Denver Nuggets in game 2 of round 2 of the NBA playoffs as they will fly to Denver with a 2-game series lead. And you guys, if game 3 is anything like tonight, I think this series is a wrap. Denver might take one. I have a feeling they might, but the Suns have just been incredible since what game 5 of that Lakers series. Even game 4, you know, they've been great. I think I saw a stat at the end there that was like Phoenix's win at the end of the games is like 30 and it was like 20 and like 17 and 14. Like the numbers are just insane. And we are going to dive into the numbers, you guys. And like I said, later we'll probably quote preview game 3. I'll kind of just give you guys my thoughts. But again, guys, if this is any preview of how the rest of this series is going to go, Denver's in trouble. Phoenix doesn't even really seem like they're playing their quote best basketball. They'll never admit that, but it's true. Like we've seen Phoenix play better, and they're just absolutely dominating. Everything is clicking. It's great. It's just absolutely incredible. And believe this or not, you guys, I'm actually not drinking tonight, but I did have a Sprite out of my awesome Phoenix Suns mug here. Put it in the freezer too. Decided to stay sober tonight, but I'll definitely be drinking for game 3. Thank you to everybody that's in here. Let me go ahead and look at the chat. Just once again, thank you to everybody who is here. Olivia, shout out to you. David, shout out to you. Daniel, thank you guys so much. Sam, Super Mario Hoops, fellow NBA content creator, shout out to you, man. Yeah, I mean, David says it perfectly, you guys. We outscored them in every single quarter. That's how you do it, folks. Like, what do I even really have to like bring? Like, I want to read you guys the numbers and stuff, but it's just like, man, this is just, it's just absolutely incredible. Yeah, Peter says when Bridges slammed it down and won, I knew it was over. Absolutely. That kind of reminded me of like that Torrey Craig alley-oop in game 1. Like that was kind of like the hammer, you know, the nail and the hammer. Shout out to Anthony. It says go Phoenix Suns. My man Roy, I'm gonna make you a moderator, Roy, so you can keep up with the chat. He says we won. Get the champagne ready. You know, again, I do feel like I don't know how to do a moderator. I'll have to figure that out later. But I feel like Denver will respond. But then again, I said that after game 1, and it didn't really seem like they responded at all. So let's go ahead and dive into it, you guys. This game, in my opinion, it wasn't really a contest. That you could say there was maybe some small stretches in the first half where it felt like it was going to be kind of a contest, but it was really the way the Denver Nuggets started off the game, guys. I think they were 1 for 13 at one point from 3. They relied way too much on the 3. And I feel like that's not really their game. If you're a Denver Nuggets fan and you're watching this, go ahead and correct me on that. But I feel like that's not really their game. Hold on a second, you guys. technical difficulties on my end. Okay. Anyways, and this is what I mean. I mean this in a good way, you guys. Like when I said the Suns aren't really playing their quote best basketball, I meant that kind of like as like a compliment because it was kind of a strange first quarter for the Suns. I didn't feel like the game was really in any danger. It wasn't like the game was necessarily out of reach. Don't forget that we had a 10-point lead going into halftime. Ayton kind of was in foul trouble. He kind of got off to a slow start of the game. Nikola Jokic was kind of just beasting out there in terms of numbers. I feel like it was a really good defensive quarter from both teams. There was good energy. Michael Porter Jr., I guess, kind of hurt his back or something in game one. He was lighting up the Suns at first, and then he kind of went down with a back injury. He's not looking the same. And the Suns had really good looks in the first quarter, but they just kind of weren't going down. But with that being said, the game was never out of control. The Suns were in control the whole time, and the Suns were up by 10 at halftime. And then after, I'm going to talk about the third quarter later, but after the third quarter, it was a wrap. Shout out to my good friend, someone who's once been on this channel, Evan, with the $10 super chat. Evan, you did not have to do that, my man. I appreciate you. Go follow Evan on Twitter. He also runs the Valley Stats page. He says, let's go, Brandon. I appreciate you. So go follow him. Evan, if you want to put your Twitter in the chat, I'll pop it up for you. And once again, go follow the Valley Stats on Twitter. This guy's always coming with the stats. His stats have even helped my videos. So shout out to Evan. I got to get you back on the channel sometime in the future, man. Super Mario Hoop says, I can't wait to see how Mike Malone calls the Nuggets out this time. He did. And the players, Reggie Miller or somebody was saying that the players, quote, took a team responsibility and they put it on themselves. But again, you guys, if this is just any indication of how this series is going to go, it's going to be over. I don't know if we'll sweep them. They might take game 3 or 4, but we're on a roll right now. And the series could be over in 5, which I think that needs to happen. I think the Suns do need to take care of business, because what if Utah and Los Angeles goes into 7 games? And let's say like the Clippers win, they're going to be exhausted. So if the Suns can just wrap this up in 5, we'll have rest. I think we'll have home court advantage. I'm not really sure. It'd be great. So I don't know. Super Mario Hoop says, the thing with Denver is that their new collection of, quote, other guys has yet to adjust from how they played against Portland. We gave them, who gave them tons of open threes. Exactly. And that's what I was saying. Like, they relied too much on the 3. At the end of the first quarter, it was 25-21, but it was kind of a strange first quarter, you guys. Again, Phoenix didn't really have the best quarter. It wasn't like one of those defensive, like the Suns had a terrible defensive first half in game 1. Wasn't really the case, but they didn't necessarily have a great first quarter, but we were still winning the game. I mean, Booker had 6 points and 6 rebounds on 2 for 5 shooting. Jay Crowder, I thought, was really good in this game. We're going to talk about him later. And like I said, Jokic was really good in the first quarter, and kind of, I guess, throughout the half, he had 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Ayton got into foul trouble, but the Suns just, they put that Men in Black wall. You know what I mean? Like, they were joking about that on the broadcast. It was the Men in Black tonight, and they were just forming a wall around Jokic. And, Michael Porter Jr. is not playing like himself, so that really helps, because for a short period of time, Michael Porter Jr. was killing us with his threes. I thought Will Barton played pretty well tonight too. He was kind of like a sign to life for them, but it didn't really last too long. The Suns had great help defense. Devin Booker had that nice dunk after the 3-point play. The Suns went up 44-37. The Nuggets were turning the ball over a lot in the second quarter. Suns kind of got into some foul trouble, and they kind of turned over the ball, but that's my point. It didn't really seem like it mattered, Once again, I cannot repeat this enough. Denver relied way too much on the 3 tonight. I think at one point they were 4 for 22 from 3. I think that was at halftime. They didn't get to the free throw line much either. So, man, just what a game. That's all I gotta say. Johnny Timestamp, thank you so much, man. I've seen you in the live streams and in the comments in the past. I appreciate you, man. He says 5 overall wins in a row with 4 blowouts in a row. We haven't lost in 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. I pray that's how it stays, you guys. I mean, the Phoenix Suns are on a roll. There's no doubt about it, you guys. So at halftime, like I said, 52-42. They showed a graphic at halftime, and the Phoenix Suns defense all playoff long, except for maybe in the first half of that Denver Nuggets game, has been incredible. I think they're the only playoff team remaining that is holding teams under 100 points. I'm looking at the graphic right here. I should have pulled it up on my big screen, but 98.6 points allowed, which is first in the NBA for the Suns. They're doing a great job of just holding opponents. I think opponents are shooting like 35%. They're shooting 31% from 3. Field goal percentage total for the opponent is like 42% against the Suns. It's just, it's incredible defense what we're seeing from the Phoenix Suns. The Suns just needed to get off to a great start in the third, and that's exactly what happened. It was a quick 8-1 run for the Suns. I think Jay Crowder had like 2 threes. It was a 17-point lead. And then all of a sudden, I remember tweeting about this. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Suns Geek. All the links are down below in the description. The Nuggets scored I have it right here. I'm sorry. They finally scored 50 points at the 6:46 mark left in the third quarter. That's insane. They barely scored 50 points with 6 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third. The Suns went on like a 17-6 run, and they were up by 20, and they were up by 21, and then the lead just kept growing. Even if Denver responded with like a couple of threes, it didn't seem like it mattered, you guys. It was incredible performance. And then, just after that, it was basically just the game. At this point, I'm just going to go to the box score because, what is there really to talk about? The Suns were great on defense. The Nuggets need to make so many adjustments. I want to say they're only going to go as far as Nikola Jokic is going to take them, but Nikola Jokic can't do it all. And that's why I complimented Will Barton tonight. I thought he gave them a little bit of energy. I thought Aaron Gordon played very well, as best as he could. He's going to be kind of a key player for them this whole series. But once again, Nikola Jokic can't do it all. Shout out to my man, Philly Take with RB. Great content creator. Huge Sixers fan. Go subscribe to his channel right now. Philly Take with RB. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. He says, I don't see a team beating you guys in a series. Suns might be finals bound. Embrace every moment of this, my man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. It's scary, man. I'm new to this as a Suns fan, you guys. I've been watching losing Suns basketball for years. And even when we had Steve Nash, I barely had this YouTube channel back then. This is kind of all new because of those past 10 years. I forgot what winning is like. I forgot what playoff basketball is like. I forgot what winning playoff basketball is like. So once again, go subscribe to my man, Philly Take with RB, who just said it perfectly. The Suns might be finals bound. Embrace every moment of this. And I have to pass that on to you, Suns fans, too. Enjoy every moment of this. Even when we were struggling against the Lakers, and I made that video, I was like, oh, the Suns have to win game 4. It's a must win. I was still enjoying every second of it. Watching the game as closely as possible, over analyzing everything. Even with this game, maybe besides the second half, I was over analyzing everything. But it's fun, guys. Just enjoy this. It's just absolutely incredible. We're gonna dive into some more numbers here, you guys, soon. People are don't jinx us. Don't panic, you guys. It's gonna be okay. I think the Suns are gonna win this series probably in 5 games. Yeah, and Conan says it perfectly too. I haven't really talked about Jay Crowder. He's been great. He really struggled in that Lakers series in terms of shooting. The defense and energy and leadership was there in that Lakers series, but in terms of shooting, he has been great. I think he realized how bad he was shooting in that Lakers series and how it was kind of affecting the team. And guys, I said this in my game 1 Nuggets Suns post-game live stream, whatever. I said this, I was like, and I meant this as a compliment. I was like, if the Suns can just have a great shooting night like tonight consistently, like we saw in games 4, 5, and 6 of the Lakers series, the Suns are going to be tough to beat. And in game 1, you know, the Suns had what, like 4 players with over 20 points. And you look at the shooting numbers, it was like 8 for 13, 9 for 14, whatever. It's like the Suns could do so much better. But I mean that as a good thing, you guys. It's scary how good this team is. It's scary how things have been clicking. It's so fun. Enjoy every moment of this, you guys. I'm not trying to jinx us or anything. I'm just confident about my team. I'm embracing winning basketball. You know, enjoy the Suns, fans. Just absolutely enjoy this. Just enjoy it, you guys. I don't know, you guys. It's just so good. I'm trying to catch up with the comments here, but okay. So once again, shout out to the Daily Drip, another fellow content creator, huge Sixers fan. He's been on this channel once. He says, I think the Suns are officially my team in the West. We've done it again, you guys. We've converted another Suns fan to the Suns team. It's awesome. I love it. I remember during the bubble, I think it was my friend JV. He's a Bulls fan, and we converted JV to a Suns fan. So shout out to JV if you're watching. Peter says, I've been watching the Suns since the 80s. Best defense they've ever had. I don't know if that's true, but I think I agree with you. I mean, it's not like the 7 seconds or less Suns had this kind of defense. And that was what I was saying, man. Like the defense tonight on Nikola Jokic was just insane. And I can't stop going back to that one stat that I brought up. The Nuggets didn't have 50 points until the 6:46 mark. And you can say, oh, yeah, well, that's because they started off 4 for 22 from 3. Well, that was probably the Suns defense, because the Suns didn't necessarily start the game off from 3 that great either until like the third quarter. Let me see what they finished with in terms of 3. The Suns shot 47% for the game, 47% from the field and 47% from 3. They had 18 threes tonight. The Nuggets were 14 for 43, 32% from 3. That is insane. Now, again, Denver's probably going to respond. I don't think I'm going to expect a game 3 loss, maybe game 4. But again, you guys, like if this is just a preview of how the rest of the series is going to go, it's over. Shout out to Benny. Did Suns Geek already crack a cold one? I don't want to get left behind. Believe it or not, guys, I'm staying sober tonight. I was drinking a Sprite out of this awesome Suns mug, by the way. So no, but if you do have a drink, go ahead, drink it. I'm drinking water right here. So cheers to the Phoenix Suns. Cheers to you guys. Thank you to everybody who's in the chat. Thank you guys for everyone who's commenting. Thank you to Evan for that $10 super chat. I appreciate you, man. Cheers to you guys. All right. So let's keep looking at the numbers here. Once again, you guys, I really think Denver's only going to go as far as Nikola Jokic takes them. I don't think he even played in the fourth quarter. He played 30 minutes tonight. And by the way, no Suns player tonight played over 34 minutes. So it was great to get that kind of rest for the Suns players. Jokic tonight, excuse me, I got a burp. Excuse me. Jokic, 30 minutes tonight, 9 for 17 from the field, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Like, even though the numbers are great, it didn't really seem like he was much of an impact. And Ayton didn't really have a great start to the game. I thought defensively DeAndre Ayton was really good, and I think his game got better as the game went on. But like, I don't know. Jokic can only do so much. Michael Porter Jr. was 3 for 13 tonight. He only had 11 points. Campazzo, who, by the way, is kind of a dirty, annoying player, by the way. He plays dirty, in my opinion. He threw down Torrey Craig in game 1, kind of bumped chests with Chris Paul at one point. He had 29 minutes tonight, 3 points. Austin Rivers, only 6 points. Paul Millsap, 11 points. Again, I'll give credit to Will Barton. Will Barton hasn't played, I think, since April 23rd, coming off that injury. And he had 10 points. He gave them kind of a sign of life, but then he went 4 for 8 for the rest of the, for the game. He only had 2 threes. It was a blowout, you guys. Like, I can look at the numbers all day. I can overanalyze everything. It was just a blowout. Like, the Suns just need to keep doing what they're doing. And I'm looking at the numbers here. 47% from three. Basically 48. It was 47.9 from the field tonight. They out rebounded the Nuggets 52-46. They had 27 assists. They had 30 in game 1. We had 44 points in the paint. Now, we did have 18 fouls, but we had 7 turnovers. Like, everything swung our way, you guys. Like, it's just so good to see. The Suns just need to keep doing what they're doing. They need to keep playing great defense. They need to gang rebound. They need to stay consistent on their threes. And by the way, you guys, Mikal Bridges, who was amazing in game 1, didn't really have it tonight. And that's okay because, one, he had a great game 1. He was 2 for 8 from 3 tonight, but he still finished with 16 points. Like, once this team everything starts clicking, it's over. Like, nobody's going to be able to stop this team. And I'm sure Monty Williams will go to the tape and say, oh, we need to do this better. We need to do that better. But, like, I wouldn't be able to find it, So I want to read you guys some numbers here because I'm done looking at the box score. There's really nothing else to really say. Let me see here. Let me just take a look at my notes. I'm going to look at my notes real quick. I'm going to play you guys my new little intro that I made for these live streams. So enjoy this little break. Okay, and welcome back. So here's some numbers that I want to read to you. These numbers come from Stat Moose, great basketball statistical page on Twitter and Facebook and all that. I already read you Nikola Jokic's numbers, by the way. He had 24 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. The rest of the Nuggets starters combined, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. And did I mention they were terrible from 3 tonight, especially to start the game? I mentioned this earlier. No Suns starter played over 34 minutes. That's great for the Phoenix Suns. I think Mikal Bridges was in the game a little too long. That could have just been a safety thing. Chris Paul was once again just masterful. He was brilliant. 17 points, 15 assists, 0 turnovers. It's his 3rd career playoff game with 15 plus assists and 0 turnovers, breaking a tie with Magic Johnson for the most since the 3-point era in 1980. And I think I saw another stat where he broke his own record with the whole assists and no turnovers. I think he did something similar in 2014 when he was with the Clippers. It's just the way that you keep hearing the term Chris Paul manages the game so well, and they're absolutely right. Every time the Suns kind of went down a little bit, or not down, but every time the Nuggets would come back, they'd bring back Chris Paul just to kind of settle things down, get some points. There were a couple times in this game where Chris Paul just, he would walk up and just bury a 3 or bury a deep mid-range like it was nothing. The Suns didn't seem panicked at all this game, and that's great. And sometimes I think they play better when they're panicking. When the game is close, I think they play better. So final score 123-98. Already read you Chris Paul's numbers. By the way, he had 5 rebounds. He was 5 rebounds shy of a triple-double. He was 6 for 10 from the field. Devin Booker was great as well, I thought. He only had 18 points, and the Suns dominated. He had 18 points. And I said this last live stream. I've said this many times in the past. If this were the Suns last year, the bubble Suns, if this were the Suns 2-3 years ago, Booker would have needed to score 40 for us to win. He had 18 points tonight. He was 6 for 14. And again, I'll credit Aaron Gordon. I'll credit some Nuggets players. They're doing a pretty good job on Devin Booker. He is going to need to kind of make some adjustments, but he had 18 points tonight. And the Suns just dominated. And again, DeAndre Ayton, he got off to a bad start, but it wasn't like a terribly bad start. At first, I was like, oh man, we're in for a long game. Like he's already in foul trouble. But it was just the Suns. I think the Suns switched to a 3-2 zone defense, and they did a great job on Jokic. He had 15 points and 10 rebounds tonight. And, it was just great, you guys. I don't even know. I don't even know if I can preview game 3 because it's just, if the Suns just keep doing what they're doing, if things just keep clicking, if they can just keep hitting their threes, then it's over, you guys. The Daily Drip says, geez, sound like me, Suns Geek. I'm trying to enjoy and appreciate the Sixers run. Oh man, let me get caught up on the chat here. I'm probably missing some chats. I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of you in here, and I appreciate you guys. Keep flooding the chat. Make sure to Hulk smash the like button. Destroy the like button, you guys. The stream pause screen is so lit. Thank you, Benny. I appreciate that compliment. Let me see. Super Mario Hoop says his shoulder definitely improved with how easily he was hitting those threes, like the usual CP3. I absolutely agree. There were a couple times in game 1 where he passed up some shots, but that takeover that he had in game 1, that takeover that he had tonight goes to show that he might still be a little hurt, but if Chris Paul is even remotely at 70, 75% or higher, then Denver's in trouble, It's so good. It's so good, you guys. So if you guys want to submit a question, go ahead, because I really have nothing else. So go ahead and just submit your questions, comments. Olivia says, haha, that video of Payne and Bridges dancing is hilarious. Yeah, I decided to pay for some upgrades. I can show this picture all live stream if I wanted to. The greatest picture ever. Devin Booker recreating his bubble iconic game winner shot versus the Clippers. Can't believe he did it again. And I can pull up little videos. I can pull up a random highlight of DeAndre Ayton. And thanks to you guys who are nice enough and generous enough to donate with Super Chat. You guys are helping this by basically, you're helping me to pay for these little upgrades. I should have done this in round 1. I should have paid for the upgrades and all that. Like I said, I want to try to invest back into this channel, make these live streams better for you, make the videos better for you. Daniel says, Suns opponents in the playoffs are averaging under 100 points. Exactly. I read that stat earlier. The Suns are just locking up teams. That's great. Roy says we played bad in the first half. Not as bad as in game 1. I mean, we didn't play great, but we were up. We were up 10 points. That's huge, Roy. So I get what you're saying, but it wasn't as bad as in game 1. Okay. I don't want to butcher your name, but Jack Jaskel. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm sorry. We love Suns Geek. Really realistic, humble, and funny. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, bro. I do my best here. I always use the cop-out answer that I'm a one-man show here. I appreciate you, man. That's a very nice compliment. You're awesome, man. I appreciate that. Daniel says, I really hope CP is passing all of his knowledge to Booker. Thank you for reminding me of something, Daniel. I totally agree with you. I mean, down the road, that Devin Booker is going to just be all about Chris Paul. Chris Paul taught me this. Chris Paul taught me that. Blah, blah, blah. Especially if, this is a different conversation for another time, especially if Chris Paul remains in Phoenix for the rest of his career, which I'm sure he will. Don't let that little opt-out story that you read on ESPN scare you guys. Chris Paul's not going anywhere. The Suns might have to go into the luxury tax to bring back Bridges and Ayton and Paul, but yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm 99% sure Chris Paul came to Phoenix because of Devin Booker. Let's be real. I mean, yeah, the bubble thing was great, but he was like, I came to Phoenix for Devin Booker. So he's teaching him everything. He's teaching him how to be a professional. He's teaching him everything, how to take over games, how to be a better playmaker, how to be a better leader on and off the court. I'm sure he's teaching him things about how to make his body better. Like, I think Chris Paul, I don't know if he's vegan, but he like stopped eating meat and stuff this offseason. Like, just great. And by the way, that brings up my next point before I get to Super Mario's question. I really think that DeAndre Ayton playing against Nikola Jokic in this series, even if it's 4 or 5 games, I think down the road that is going to be huge because those two have like a mutual respect for each other. Even before this series, you can go back and look like Nikola Jokic has complimented Ayton. Ayton has complimented Jokic. There's no like real like beef or tension there, not yet, anyways. And I love to see that. Like, I really think down the road, DeAndre Ayton's going to be like, man, like when I was first in the playoffs, I had to go up against Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic and Marc Gasol and blah, blah, blah. Like, this experience for Ayton is going to be huge. And when you said that, you know, I hope that CP3 is passing all of his knowledge on to Booker, I think that kind of brought me up to that rant there. Super Mario Hoops says, thoughts on potentially going up against Steve Nash in the finals. Don't forget, Amari Stoudemire's on that coaching staff. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that just be like a storybook? You know, that'd just be so good. Olivia says Jazz or Clippers. Neither. I would probably say the Jazz just because we kind of match up with them better, kind of. I mean, they're a great team. Excuse me. They're a great team. But we were bad against the Clippers this year. We were bad. So I don't know if I want to see the Clippers, but if the Clippers do somehow make it to the Western Conference Finals and it's like 7 games, we'll be more rested. I think we'd have home court advantage, like I said earlier. Yeah. You excited for the Western Conference Finals? Absolutely. For those of you who don't know, I currently do not live in Phoenix. I lived there for like 15 years. So I'm hoping that this series is a wrap because I'm actually going to be visiting after June 22nd. And that's when the Western Conference Finals will be. So I'm like, man, like just to be in Phoenix during that environment, man, Suns Geek is going to have a DJ in his live stream soon. Shout out to Daniel, man. I appreciate you, bro. Who we facing in the Western Conference Finals? Bring on the Jazz. Bring on the Jazz. Steve Nash is in our hearts. He is good at what he does. However, Brooklyn is pretty much trying to buy the championship with those superstars. I'll say this, you guys. Brooklyn's scary, man. You know, criticize them all you want, but like they're playing great and they're doing all of this without James Harden. That's all I got to say. When you have 2 MVPs on your team, when you have 3 of the greatest players of all time, yes, even Kyrie Irving, that's scary, you guys. Just saying. And I love Steve Nash. I think Steve Nash is doing a great job. Don't forget, how do I forget that Mike D'Antoni is their assistant too? Like, that's a perfect assistant coach to have in your first year of coaching. Shout out to my man, Mark. I hope you and your family are doing well, man. Shout out to Mark. He's always in these live streams. Complete team participation win. Exactly. Everyone contributed. We play like this. We can even think about beating Brooklyn. Exactly. But again, I'm a little scared for Brooklyn. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Alan, man, with the $5 super chat. You totally didn't have to do that, man. I owe you a beer in the future. He was in a past live stream and he was donating left and right. I owe you some beer, man. I appreciate you, brother. Is this the best Suns defense of all time? I think so. I think somebody wrote an article about that. I'm not exactly sure who. I would really have to do my son's homework and dive into that. That might be a good off-season video, but it has to be one of them. And I mean, you think of the basketball era that we are in right now, where it's an offensive driven league. That's why I've been critical a lot of the Suns defense, especially in the regular season. I was like, are we sure this is a top 10 defense? And I feel like it just keeps proving me wrong every time. Like, yeah, this is an offensive driven league. Players are going to shoot lights out. We've seen so many great performances in terms of scoring. but the way the Suns play defense, it's incredible. It's so good. This might be one of the Suns' greatest defensive teams of all time, if not the greatest. Tamer says, Suns Geek, Suns Geek, Suns Geek. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. So weird to see a good Suns defensive team. I feel like it'd be similar to Nash versus Dallas in 2005 when he came back the first year to Phoenix and the Suns won that series. Exactly. Guys, let's just finish this series first. Let's get to the Western Conference Finals, and then we'll start talking everything else. We still got a long way to go, okay? Ayton is playing good, but we want the Ayton from Arizona, aggressive and quicker. Just imagine him that way. That's why I've been Ayton's biggest critic this year, because we've seen games from him all throughout the season where he just did not seem engaged. But you know what, you guys? He was incredible in that Lakers series. And he's been pretty good in this Nuggets series too. But I agree with you. There's things he can work on. He's learning. Damn it. I don't think they heard me. Suns Geek, Suns Geek, Suns Geek. Daniel says, do you think the Suns and Jazz will be a better series to have a Spida book rivalry or Suns versus Clippers so D-Book can take down two other greats and Leonard and George? At this point, bring on anybody. The Suns have that mentality. They weren't scared to play the Lakers with or without Anthony Davis. They were not scared. They said, you know what? Doesn't matter who we play. And Chris Paul has said this. Monty Williams has said this. It's the NBA playoffs, you guys. Every team deserves to be there. Maybe not in the Eastern Conference, Miami. But you guys get my point. Bring on anybody. I don't care who we play, you know? Like, that's what I was saying about the Lakers series. I feel like that was just so unfair and just, I don't want to call it bad luck, but like, it could have been the Spurs. It could have been the Warriors. It could have been the Grizzlies. Like, the Suns would have been prepared for them. We would have beaten them. I think it was a good thing we versed the Lakers in the first round. All that experience, beating LeBron James in his first ever first round series loss, 10 years of no playoffs to defeat the defending champions. That's a great thing, you guys. I'm glad it happened in the long run. Don't get me wrong. I was scared there for a couple of games, but I was like, Suns are going to win, you know, and they obviously did, but, you know, Mark Jackson says, I don't care who we get in the Western Conference Finals. We have the talent. Shout out to Mark. If we can try for the Western Conference Finals ticket. Yeah, I'd love to go to a game. If not, I would love to go to the game, but not actually go in, because outside is always a party. Shout out to Zane Zor. If you guys know who that is, he's always out there playing his son's raps, and it's always a party out there. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to get caught up on the comments here. Sorry, guys. Grew up in Phoenix and lived there for 33 years. It's a Suns town, 1984 to 2017. I hear you, Mark. I lived in Phoenix for a long time too. Not 33 years, but I lived there a long time. And you know what, guys? It is a Suns town. I respect you guys if you guys are huge Cardinals fans. I know the Coyotes have a loyal fan base, but it's a Suns town. It always had, even during this 10-year drought when the Suns were terrible, it was still a Suns town. I will always believe that. The Suns were the first professional team in Arizona, and it's Phoenix Suns for life, you guys. I love the Phoenix Suns. Carlos says, great blowout win again. Go Phoenix Suns all day. Much love, Suns Geek. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Carlos. Alrighty, guys. I don't really know what else there is. I'll answer Super Mario. I can't believe I've gone 40 minutes with really barely talking about this game, because there really wasn't much to talk about. Super Mario Hoops comes up with a great last minute question. Get your last minute questions or comments in right now, you guys. How far would you go to keep Torrey Craig on the team for next season? That's where it's going to get tricky. I don't get paid at all, but I would I'm stumped. It must be really tough to get paid to figure out all the numbers and salary cap for these players. Like I said, they're going to re-sign Chris Paul. It may not be the numbers that Suns fans want, but it's got to happen. Especially if we go to the NBA Finals this year, it's got to happen. Give him whatever he wants. I don't care. It's going to be tough to lock up Ayton and Bridges. Some of the role players may not be back this next year, but Torrey Craig's got to be one of them. I don't know what the numbers would look like. I don't know what the year would look like. Like if it's 1 year, 2 years, bring him back. That guy loves being here. We stole him from Milwaukee. People were giving us crap because we traded TJ Warren for cash considerations. You guys remember that? Well, we gave cash considerations for Torrey Craig. So, and it worked out. I'm not comparing Torrey Craig and TJ Warren, but like you guys get my point. Like we stole Torrey Craig. It was great. So Mark says beating the Lakers was like exercising our demons. Exactly. We got that, that monkey off our back, that weight off of our shoulders. We beat the demons, Yeah. Daniel says, how about the moves Paul put on Millsap? No one can step toe to toe with the point guard. When, Chris Paul, like I said, he's like 70, 75% healthy, but he was doing no look passes tonight. He was just incredible. He just took over. This is Chris Paul's world and we're all living in it. I'm not even kidding. If the Suns win the finals, what against the Chris Paul? I think I know what you're saying. Chris Paul will be the greatest point guard. I'm biased when it comes to all-time greatest point guards, but Chris Paul is definitely in the top 5. Shout out to Mark Jackson, says, thank you, Suns Geek, for doing this. Love the content. Thank you guys. Like, we've had over 40 people in here just sitting, listening to me rant about how great this game was, looking at the numbers, giving my thoughts. You guys ask questions. You guys donate with super chats. You guys are the real MVPs. We are all Suns Geeks here. You guys are all awesome. I love you guys. Much love. I hope you guys are all safe and well out there. I hope you're all being good people, especially if you go to NBA games. I hope you're all being good at the arenas. Man, it's great. Yeah, Young Mo, we've kind of talked about it. Chris Paul is going to get re-signed. Don't know for how much. Probably going to be a lot of money. But yeah. Let me see. So I was thinking about Suns Geeks thoughts at the end of this game. I came to YouTube to watch something else and boom, he was there. Glad I came. Swear I wanted to send him a message. Thank you so much, man. I'm trying to do my best with these live streams and be here every game. I know so many Lakers fans and it was hilarious talking trash to them. Keep talking trash to those Lakers fans. They're making up excuse after excuse at this point. And by the way, you guys, did you hear the amazing breaking news that LeBron James is changing his number to 6? I was like, what? And then people are like, oh, well, LeBron James did all this when he wore jersey. And look, I'm not going to lie. I like LeBron James. He's obviously the Michael Jordan of our era. I think he already receives too much hate, but like you can criticize him for stuff like that. And we obviously can't predict the future, but no way he's getting that Kobe treatment when it comes to getting both numbers retired, So, yep. Alrighty, you guys. I think that's a wrap on this great live stream. This live stream actually kind of went a little bit better than expected. I mean, you guys really showed up and I appreciate you guys. We got a couple super chats, and this was probably one of the easier live streams to do because there really wasn't that much to talk about. And again, the Nuggets are probably going to respond. I hope they don't. I hope they keep struggling from 3. I hope they don't get to the free throw line. Shout out to Sawbucks, one of my longtime subscribers. Another victory for us Suns Geeketeers. Exactly. You're all Suns Geeketeers. You're all fellow Suns Geeks. You guys are all awesome. Shout out to Roy. Shout out to all of you guys. Super Mario Hoops, The Daily Drip, Philly Take with RB. I hope I'm not butchering your name, but Jaskel, I hope I said that right. Thank you guys so much. You guys are all awesome. So enjoy the new little outro that I got here. And make sure to Hulk smash the like button on this live stream. Share it with your friends. Share the channel. Tell people about my channel. It would really help you guys. I'd appreciate it. Tell them I'm just some idiot who talks about the Phoenix Suns, and maybe they'll come check it out, you know. I even appreciate the haters. And yeah, next live stream will be great. I'll be drinking. And we'll see you guys Friday. By the way, before we go, here's the schedule. So next game, Friday, June 11th, Suns at Denver, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Go watch it, and we will see you guys Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, technical difficulties. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Brandon, aka Suns Geek. If it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. Make sure to Hulk smash the like button, and please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.